Believe it or not, I've not always been the nicest, kindest, gentlest, most understanding, most outgoing in kindness person you can imagine. I mean, I've not always been the sensitive person and the caring person I am today. Hello, everyone. Thank you for stopping by the Alabama Woodsman, a Christian channel where doctrine absolutely matters. Today's video, but first this. Hello, folks, and thank you for stopping by the Alabama Woodsman. If this is your first time here, I hope you can get something out of this video, some information you may be missing, or maybe it's some information that's going to help you make a decision about what you're seeing, about the different things that I talk about on my channel. And if you're a return viewer, thank you for coming back. Now, from time to time, I need to make corrections or clarifications over past videos, and I call this housekeeping. So I have a little bit of a housekeeping issue that I need to take care of today. It's about Bo Paulney. Now, folks, don't get me wrong. There is an economic crash coming, okay? There is going to be tremendous upheaval in the United States. This is not a secret. This has been on the radar for years. In fact, it goes all the way back to when the president signed with the Fed on coming off the gold standard years ago. Before that, folks, this has been in the plan since we left England. Bo Paulney is not a prophet. He is a liar. He is a blasphemer. He is a heretic. That doesn't mean he doesn't have smarts when it comes to the market. Bo loves money. He studies money. Trust me. So as far as the natural man of Bo Paulney, look, the man, I believe, knows the market. If he says a crash is coming, I would listen. But it's not because he's receiving esoteric knowledge from God. It's because he studies the trends. Okay, he looks at it. He knows, hey, every so many years, the market's going to correct itself. When inflation gets this high and unemployment gets this high, there's going to be a correction in the market. Anyone can see this who studies it, okay? He's not special in this area as far as receiving secret knowledge from God. There is a crash coming. Now, if he predicts it, like I think I saw something that said it was supposed to crash on the 16th, 17th. The dollar was supposed to crash. I'm about to turn this video out on the 18th. I want to talk to you, Siri. I'm turning this video out on the 18th of June. So I guess the crash has already happened. I could have my dates wrong. I don't know. He's predicting the dollar will go belly up. And it will, but it's not because he received knowledge. It's because you can't keep printing money like this. The Federal Reserve is giving us all this money because it's enslaving the United States. They give us trillions and trillions of dollars. See, the Federal Reserve is not part of the government. They're like a Bank of England or something. They will charge us interest. Well, when we pay back the money we owe them, guess where the interest comes from? The Federal Reserve, because they print our money. They've enslaved the United States, and it's just a matter until we fall. But it's not because Bo Paulney is receiving esoteric knowledge from God. It's because he looks at the trends and he sees what the market does. Anyone can do this. So that's the problem I have with Bo Paulney. He says, oh, God told me, God told me, God told me. You know what? How come these evil men can get the same predictions and they don't hear from God? They will tell you, hey, there's a big bank crash coming in the United States, and they're not even Christian. How do they know it? Now, the biggest part of this, which makes me want to go 100 all-out nuclear Sicilian, is this. Bo Paulney teaches that in this time when the dollar goes belly up and everything shuts down, okay, trust me, when the dollar goes crazy, and you don't have internet and you don't have electricity and you don't have commerce happening, so your shelves are looted and all that, and there's no food and there's nothing, they'll call that the 3 days of darkness. Even if it's for 3 months, they'll call them days, so it fits the prophecy. Or it could be 3 days before the government cranks back up, because what I think is going to happen is it'll default on a Friday, and come Monday, we'll be a different country with a different currency, no constitution. That's just what I think, okay? God's not told me anything. These are things that people who study this just put together. See, folks, if the dollar collapses on a Friday and Monday they have an answer, they didn't come up with an answer in just 3 days. No, they've been preparing their answer for years in secrecy. Your dollar can't collapse on a Friday and everything be good on Monday. You can't just have an answer. No, they've been preparing for this day for years. But what really infuriates me is Bo Polly says, Christian, this is the time you're going to get all the wealth, even though the dollar just collapsed. And you're going to be protected, which means you're going to have food and you're going to have water and you're going to have security and you got nothing to worry about. There's not going to be chaos for the Christian. It's all chaos for the sinners. That's what makes me mad, because people will not prepare for this problem that is right here. It is right here, ready to hit us. And Bo Polny is telling you, lower your defenses. It's all good. Captain, you got to bring down the shields, you do. No, you need to prepare for disaster. That's what gets me about Bo Polny. So to me, that's the whole scam. So that's the housekeeping thing. Oh, and one last thing. This whole thing about the 3 days of darkness, really, the prophecies of 3 days of darkness before the Lord comes. Do you know how far that prophecy goes back? I found someone online, I found where it goes back all the way to the mid or late 1800s. Some Catholic folk were prophesying 3 days of darkness. So when these current modern day prophets say they've heard from God 3 days of darkness, folks, come on. That prophecy has been out there since the mid or late 1800s. All right, folks, that's the housekeeping issue. Now let's get into today's video. So, folks, over 30 years ago, I was blessed to meet this woman. I call her the Flower Girl. The Flower Girl has been an amazing wife. She truly upholds the name Christian. I can't tell you how much of an anchor she's been in my life, because, believe it or not, I've not always been the nicest, kindest, gentlest, most understanding, most outgoing in kindness person you can imagine. I mean, I've not always been the sensitive person and the caring person I am today.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
However, the Flower Girl is very understanding, very forgiving, and she has been with me for over 30 years. So I tell people all the time, I didn't marry up. I married up 2 levels. So we were on the couch. I was in my easy chair. She was on the couch, and we were either watching a Bloom video or we were watching something, but Manuel Johnson came up, and I can't remember if I made a comment or if she just started rabbit trailing with Manuel Johnson, but I heard those keyboards over there just, and she was looking up stuff, and she found some amazing things. So we've had some technical difficulties getting this all brought together. That's why it's been so long in coming. And one of those things we've not been able to clear up is when you watch what she recorded, it's going to be just slightly blurry. I don't know how to fix that. Maybe we can do better, if we do this again sometime. But it's going to be just slightly blurry. Now, another part of this, you're going to see smudges, okay? This is not our doing, and it's not the screen of your computer as you're watching it. It's almost like they took things and they put paper on a scanner and scanned it, and that paper is somehow smudge. The smudges you're gonna see are not from us, Okay? It's from their website. So just keep that in mind. It's not your screen. Don't poke a hole in your screen trying to rub the smudge out, and don't think that I'm a lousy editor. It's not us, it's them, which is usually the case. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have the Flower Girl making a video on this channel explaining a couple things that I found very interesting. So, ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Flower Girl.
There you go.
Hi, Woodsman family. I'm the Flower Girl, also known as the Alabama Woodsman's wife of going on 31 years now. He has asked me to come and share with you my opinion of a doctorate degree that Manuel Johnson claims. A little bit about me. I have a bachelor's and a master's in secondary education. I'm also certified and highly qualified in 2 subject areas. That would be high school English and also high school science. The science I added on myself by studying for the national certification and adding that second certification to my current one, which was English. So anything that has to do with grammar, I'm a little picky about. Grammar Police badge comes out, especially when we are looking at some of these websites that we're going to look at today. So without further ado, here comes my explanation of why the doctor in front of Manuel Johnson is simply seems to be a sham.
Okay, before we do that, look, the Flower Girl was being modest. I want to tell you some more truth. So she graduated college with a bachelor's to teach English, but she always loved science. So she decided she wanted to get certified in science. Now, what she didn't tell you was, in order to do that, you had to take this national certification. I think it's called the Praxis. I could be wrong. This is the test that certifies you nationally to teach science. The Flower Girl taught herself chemistry and physics. Okay, she did not go to college to teach chemistry and physics. She taught herself chemistry and physics without going to college, took the praxis, and scored in the 12th percentile, in the top 12% of the nation that year, after teaching herself science and physics. So that is something that I find just simply amazing. And I wanted to let you know the lady is smart. When I was a private investigator, she did all my computer research and sent me in the field to execute. So I just wanted to add that. She was too modest to say it, but I think it's amazing. So let's go. Let's get into the video on should Dr. Manuel Johnson really be claiming a doctorate.
Dr. Manuel Johnson. On his website, I went to About Us to see exactly what was going on with his doctorate degree. So I see that he is licensed, trained, and ordained in ministry by True Vine Miracle Temple, Spirit and Truth Communication Network, and Bridge of Deliverance International. Manuel Johnson has a doctorate degree in theology from Everlasting Chip Ministry. So that's the first thing that I want to look at, is exactly what is this Everlasting Chip Ministry. So we're going to open that in a new tab, and it comes to Dr. Bruno Capamoro.net. And this is an evangelist who went from mafia boss to the cross. And looking up here, I notice he has the Bible school. So let's take a look at exactly what Bible school that Manuel Johnson got his, quote, doctorate degree from. This is all we have about a Bible school. So the first thing you need to know is that accredited schools don't look like this. accredited schools have procedures in place by the accrediting agency that safeguards us from diploma mills, basically. So how can I show you that this is basically a diploma mill? Well, let's start right here. We have someone who owns this Bible school. It's not a public or a private trust. And so one person owning a Bible school already feels a little shady. Here in this page, let's see, we've got Joseph Global University Campus of Everlasting Chip Ministry Bible School was founded 37 years ago by Dr. Bruno. This school is affiliated with Southwestern International University headquarters in Taiwan. So that's the first thing that we're going to go look at. We're going to search Joseph Global University, and we're going to search the Southwestern International University. They do offer bachelor's, master's, and doctorate degrees in theology and divinity. It goes on with, okay, so enroll now. That is not a clickable link. So another hallmark of a diploma mill is a web address that is a general web address. So to receive detailed information about the enrollment process and the curriculum, send your inquiry to this address, AOL. So here they list their programs and the corresponding tuition fees. So you could get a bachelor's in 2 years for $7,000, a master's in 2 years for $10,000, or a doctorate program in 2 years for $20,000. Ministerial license, just $4,800. Also 2 years. So
now, folks, go back and look at it if you have to. Did you notice you could get a ministerial license for $4,700 or $4,800, whatever it was, in 2 years? But for $20,000, you could get a Ph.D. in just 2 years. It takes you 2 years to get a ministerial license, and it also takes you 2 years to get a Ph.D. The only thing different is the money.
Well, there's something you don't see every day.
And don't you just love a Bible college that just puts the prices up right there on their page? Just, hey, look, you want a PhD, bam, $20,000 American. Yeah, that's always a good sign of a good quality accredited Bible program. Just upfront pricing, no haggle pricing. Okay, you're not going to see a salesman and then see the sales manager. They're not going to have to talk to each other and then come back with counteroffers. No, that's the offer. $20,000 PhD.
You can see here what you're doing. This is like a pay-to-play scheme. This is something that we would akin to you're paying for a piece of paper, not necessarily the actual curriculum. So let's look and see what is left on this website for us to analyze. These are tuition costs and do not include annual fees, lab fees, and material fees. All tuition paid in advance is refundable after a 3-day period. All tuition must be paid in full before any degree is released to the student. Notice that it doesn't say anything about your curriculum must be completed. You must pass with satisfactory marks. You must complete a dissertation. None of the things that typically go along with a master's or a doctorate program is listed here. Simply, you must pay in full before you get your degree. Now, I've noticed that down here we have some issues with why they want tuition money. Notice it's not anything about paying the professors or upkeep of a campus. No. The tuition fee will help the ministry continue to meet the financial budget for the school and office to fund, instead of fund, and help set up other campuses so everyone can accomplish God's purpose and plans for their lives. So one of the hallmarks, again, of a diploma mill is just the attention to detail is not there. There is no way that an accredited university would have anything like this on their website. Let's see what other kind of grammatical errors we can find just to poke a little fun. Your support to our Bible school will help leaders to set up campuses throughout the world. Your tuition fee will be used, reading and ministering to other people globally. I have no idea what they're, maybe to be used in reaching and ministering. Probably that should say in reaching. Thank you for your givings and prayers. From the desk. From the desk. What a strange way to end a page. From the desk.
So one time I was talking to somebody and I felt they were getting scammed. And they got an email. And the email was from a captain in the United States Army. Okay. Now, I don't know if you know a lot about the United States military system, but in order to be an officer, maybe other than a warrant officer, I'm not sure about that. But anyway, an officer like a lieutenant or a captain, you have to have a 4-year degree in something. So this person sent me the email, or I looked at the email, and I already suspected it was a scam. And I started reading, and this person was a captain out of Miami. He was a captain in the United States Army, had his picture and everything, really nice-looking man, late 40s, early 50s, in Afghanistan, and he was coming home. And he was showing an interest in this person, and I just said, okay, send me the email, or let me see the email, or I looked at the email. Folks, the email, you could tell English was not the first language of a captain with a 4-year degree in the United States Army. So, look, I got it. You could have 5 degrees, and you could have all these credentials and everything, and English not be your first language. But come on. Really? What the flower girl just showed is all kinds of bells and whistles. Some an accredited college that gives you a degree for $20,000 might need to spend some of it on web development. Are you kidding me?
So, let's go ahead and take a dive into Joseph Global University. And let's open up a new tab. We will paste here and see what we find. Okay, so this first one is globaluniversity.edu. This is Assemblies of God, so we would not consider that anything related to this Joseph Global University. But here again we have his website, the Assemblies of God one. I'm not really seeing anything that talks about exactly what he said. So let's go back to the Southwestern International University, see what we find here, headquartered in Taiwan.
All right, folks, now I added the police lights to show where I think caution is, where a problem is. And I'm not saying that she didn't catch it. It's just that I want her part to play and not interrupt it. But I want to be able to also express, hey, look, man, this is huge. These are warning lights, red flags.
Okay, so we have an actual Southwestern University, but that's not Southwestern International University. Here we go. Southwestern IU. So let's look at. Now, this is supposedly the university that his Bible school, Everlasting Chip Ministry, is affiliated with. So if his school is affiliated with Southwestern International University, that means that this is a credible school, correct? Let's take a deeper look. First of all, I noticed that this page looks like something from the MySpace era. Southwestern International University is here, but the word international is missing here. We have AICS logo here, and this emblem makes you think that something is official or accredited, but let's see what the actual wording says. Discover our university. Won the U.S. Department of Education recognized university, ranked 87. That makes no sense. You don't win a ranking, and the U.S. Department of Education doesn't rank schools. So the accrediting for Independent Colleges and Schools Council is mentioned here, and it says that it's ranked 87 by the U.S. Department of Education, but not by the accrediting for independent schools. So not sure what kind of wool they're trying to pull over eyes right here, but that is not anything that is credible. Again, over here, Southwestern University is ranked 87 among all U.S. accredited universities. Now, they say they're 87, but there's nothing proving they're number 87. And does this mean that they're accredited? No, it doesn't. I'll show you in a minute. Then they go on to say the 2000 Carnegie classification includes all colleges and universities in United States that are degree granting and accredited by an agency recognized by U.S. Secretary of Education. So notice that they are mentioning the Carnegie classification system, but they don't say that they are accredited.
So, folks, isn't that interesting that they will tell you that this is an accreditation system in the same sentence or paragraph or section, but yet they do not claim they are part of that accreditation? You, the reader, just assume they are part of that accreditation. So, in a court of law, hypothetically speaking, if you were to say, they claim to be accredited by this Carnegie, whatever, blah, 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 they could say, we never claimed that. We just told you what the accreditation system is. We nowhere in this sentence did we say we are part of that and are condoned by that accreditation system. They get it here. I mean, you're just almost there, but you're not legally there. You got to be careful. I'll give you another example of the thought process I'm talking about. In Alabama, you can wear a T-shirt that says police on it, okay? As long as you don't do anything that a police officer would do, like you're not trying to pull people over, you're not trying to do this, you're not trying to act like a police officer. Sir, can I have your identification? You're just walking around with a T-shirt that says police on it. That is not illegal in Alabama. People would assume you're the police, but you are not saying you're the police. You just have a T-shirt that says police on it. That's the thought process I'm talking about here. This is the shell game that's played. See, they're not saying they're accredited, but they put verbiage in there, and most likely the people who read it assume that they are accredited through that accreditation system, but they never really make a legal binding statement to say, yes, these people recognize us. It's not there. It's trickery, and it works.
So let's look at this part that talks about EDUCAUSE. EDUCAUSE is an institutional member of Carnegie classifications. What EDUCAUSE actually does, they are the clearinghouse for anyone with a .edu website. And it says that SWIU is listed with them because that is how you get a .edu website. They are not an accrediting agency. They are not anything as far as going into your school and looking at your systems and processes, comparing it to a list of credentials to see if you're up to snuff. That's not what's going on here. Now, we also have a lot of letters listed here, lots of alphabet soup. However, does this say anything about the fact that they accredit them? No. It just simply talks about Bear's Guide to Earning Degrees by Distance Learning lists SWIU as an excellent university. Doesn't say they're accredited. And I don't even know who says this is an authoritative and educational magazine. It also says that it passes the evaluation from these two agencies. Well, that does not mean that they're accredited. For these two agencies, it simply says they're a senior member, and over here it says that they're a recognized member of these agencies. So I don't want to spend too much more time on this area right here, but just notice what is not being said. And what's not being said is that these agencies are accrediting this, quote, university at all. All right, so scrolling on down, we have a year 2021 graduation ceremony. You've got Dr. Bruce here. Bruno. You've got Dr. Bruno here with an award. This does not look like a photo of a stage where someone would be getting a real diploma. Here we have a picture of, looks like a ceremony. And as we come on down, we notice some videos, and they're talking about SWI and IMI. Now, I did notice up here we have some IMI affiliation, so let's check to see if maybe there's where we can find some credible oversight. Oh, would you looky there? Not a thing. So,
folks, you could see a lot of stuff on a page and think, wow, look at all that support. And unless you know what you're looking at, unless you go and verify each one of those and see what's going on with each one of those, it would appear that they are counting on you to assume things that they're not even really saying. Why is that still up there? Why is that there to begin with? See, folks, it all looks good, but until you investigate it, you're probably assuming things that aren't true, and they may hypothetically want you to assume them, but in a court of law, they'll say, we didn't know, we didn't claim that. And they would be telling the truth. They didn't claim that. They just seem to make the page to where you assume something. That stinks.
That's a dead end. Let's come on down and see what else. It talks about WONMU, not sure what that is, and IHNMA. It doesn't talk about it. So a couple of videos here, and now we have, do you notice how this now scrolls inside of this screen? This is a feed just from America's Charities, this website. This is like a container that they have attached this feed from another website in. So this looks up to date somewhat because they're certainly not a part of America's Charities. They're just putting something in here to make it look like their website is up to date, because the top sure doesn't look like it's up to date. So if I scroll on down, we still have just tons of things from the America's Charities website that's linked inside of this one. Now, here we have something, even though it's overlapping. It talks about reinvent yourself. Discover the rewards of a University of Life degree. University of Life degree? So, we have number 1, advance your education, kickstart your career. Southwestern University. Again, why are they not putting the word international in here any longer? Is a charity university. What in the world is a charity university? I've never heard that before. We provide humanitarian, medicine, and education for worldwide students. Okay, so number 2. SWIU brings you to be a professional people in the world. You can't make this up. SWIU has many professors in different countries. And as you can see, the grammatical mistakes continue. For point number 3, SWIU affiliates many famous university. I just can't. All right, let's take a look at these addresses. I have no idea why they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 addresses listed, but let's go ahead and just check this first one. If I pop that over into Google Maps, we have what looks like an overgrown house. Probably. I'd also looked it up over here, and the property records are showing that it's a single family home. It's been off the market. And if we take a look at one of these listings, it just says that it's a home. It's off the market. So, that's interesting. St. Paul's College? That's the same address. St. Paul's. Oh, and then this comes to nothing. What is going on here? Something going on with St. Wait, didn't I see St. Paul here at the top of this one? No. Yes, St. Paul University. Let's see what's going on. I was trying to go to stpaul.education. I don't think that's going to load. Let's just search St. Paul University and see what's going on with that. It's in Ottawa. That's not right. What did it say? It said Virginia. Everything you need to know. Okay. St. Paul's. That's plural. Is it? Okay, Virginia. St. Paul's College was a private historically black college in Lawrenceville. Closed its... opened... let's see. Closed in 2013. So it's a closed college. Okay, well that explains why that's not coming up. And it still does not explain why they're using that address. All right, let's check this one out. We've got 1001 East University. In Georgetown, Texas. Let's see what we find here. Zoom in. This is Mood Bridwell Hall Environmental Studies Program. Is this on a college? Is this a college campus? Oh, Southwestern University. So they have found Southwestern University, the actual university in Georgetown, Texas, and just listed it as one of their addresses because they have kind of the same name. That's a little shady. All right, let's see what's going on in New Hampshire. That explains that one. Let's paste this Daniel Webster Hall. Okay, so this actually looks like a college. That's a good sign. Daniel Webster Hall. Okay, so maybe they are, affiliated with Daniel Webster College. That's a good sign. Okay, so let's check out Daniel Webster College. Let's try Wikipedia. Daniel Webster College was. Here's another closed college. Very odd. Was a private college, operated from 65 to 2017, and then declared bankruptcy. Oh, Chinese businessman. I'm not going to attempt to read that. Doing business as this consulting service acquired the remainder of the campus for $12 million in mid 2018. It's unoccupied. That's very odd. I wonder why we have a Chinese businessman buying Daniel Webster College. All right, we're going to put a pin in that for right now. And let's check out this next address, which is actually a California address. So Cal Poly Pomona. But they're not listing Cal Poly Pomona in their accreditation. They just say they are affiliated with these schools, but I don't see the one Pomona here at all. That's odd. All right. Let's take a look at the Wisconsin address. In Wisconsin, we have this kind of looks like a college. Oh, I notice we've got Northland Scholars Academy. So, Northland Scholars Academy Prep School. But I don't see anything popping up that says anything about a college or SWIU. Very odd. I'm going to say that as another. Well, let's just take a look. Let's see what's going on with that. Northland Scholars Academy? Scholars Academy, Wisconsin. Yes, that's it. All right. Oh, they have a website. Let's check that out. Yeah, that's the domestic admission, international admissions, and ESL adventure camps. So they are a world school. International. Okay, so the school calendar is here for the current year. That's a good sign. And looks like they have some credible things going on here. I'm interested, though, that they have international students.
Now, folks, I wanted to interrupt here. Notice the way this pricing schedule is laid out. You've got book fees and registration and housing and insurance. You've got all this laid out compared to what you saw with SWIC or IU or whatever it was, how it was just, hey, $20,000, you get you a Ph.D. $10,000, you get you a master's degree. You see the difference in how they were laid out? I took note of that because I don't normally deal in this, so I would not have noticed that had she not pointed that out earlier.
It's not. Doesn't look like your typical high school. All right, but a high school wouldn't have anything to do with SWIU, would it? I don't know. So this last one must be something in Taiwan, right? Because it said that it was headquartered in Taiwan. So I'm just going to open a new tab and let's just check and see where this is. Wikipedia is a good spot. China? This is in China, not Taiwan. That's very interesting. Okay, so I think we can agree that most of these addresses do not look credible. So the next thing is let's check out what they say under study. So Under study, we've got just 3 things. And, oh, they have a magazine. Let's check that out. This magazine is called Life. And this just says Southwestern, Happy Life. Life. Table of this doesn't look like any magazine I've ever seen. That's kind of weird. Let's see what the contents are. Nothing to do at all with college or college life. This is weird. That's a red flag. That doesn't look normal. Any of these things linked to anywhere? It's trying to start an app. I'm not going to let that happen. That's it. That's it under study. That's all you get. You get a video. I hope this is safe to click. Oh, YouTube. Okay. So, something Asia. Oh, we saw this on the other page. WONMU. I don't know what that stands for. Research is running. Oh, Southwestern University. Still doesn't say international, though. Don't know why it doesn't say international. Little short video. Okay. All right, so let's see. If we check out news, let's check out news. We have, we have our big man here again. He is the founder and president of Joseph Global Institute, of this ministry, and it's affiliated. This is not up to date. This says 2017. Final examination. Well, that's a good sign. Still, we've got some Asia things popping up. The winner a football game. This looks weird. This isn't real. We already have the final score of football game. The champion of every grade is so excellent. We will have a ceremony. What kind of hot mess is this? This clicks nowhere. AI, it will impact our life. Seriously. This doesn't feel right. All right, let's click school and see what we have. So if this is giving you doctorate degrees in theology, they must have a divinity school, right? Business administration, education, traditional medicine, with lots of non-traditional methodologies listed. That's odd. Computer and data science. Psychology is misspelled. Way to go there, SWIU. Nothing about divinity school. No religion degrees. No theology degrees? Nothing? Life management school. Let's see if maybe it's under here. Life management school has nothing. Education school. Also, that link goes nowhere. We've already tried this. This goes nowhere. We've looked at accreditation. Let's check. What does student check? Login. Southwestern University still doesn't have international. Global Salvation, Wisdom, and Inspiration and Understanding. And this is where I could log in if I had credentials, but I don't. And the last one says About. SWIU. Charity organization to build up. SWIU. This makes no sense. Look, here's another reference to Chinese International Charity Association. Here we go. A Chancellor of Asia, Dr. Henry Ye, and another professor, Dr. something. I do think that this picture shows something about SWIU in the background. I see probably looks like a Bible. I haven't seen that logo, but that looks pretty good. and he's our chancellor. So way to go. We found at least something as far as people goes. Maybe we need to go and check these two people out. And I did notice here on the home screen that we had something about Robert A. Lensmeyer. So we have 4 people listed: Lensmeyer, Capimoro, Henry Ye, and then the other doctor that I can't pronounce. Well, we've hit a few dead ends. We have a lot of things not adding up. We have some very odd things with this university. I don't believe they're accredited. And let's go back to the original website that brought us the information from Dr. Bruno Caparimo. So if we're looking at the information about this college, one thing that I noticed is the information, if you want more information, it's an AOL address. That's a little odd to me. That does not seem credible. Another thing has to do with their fees, but I don't see anything here about the curriculum or what's going on here with the curriculum. I did notice that it says that all tuition must be paid in full before any degree is released, but nothing about passing or doing a dissertation. So I got to thinking, you know what we should do? We should put this website in the Wayback Machine.
My wife is awesome!
Let's see how long it has been around. And let's see what we can find as far as the history of this website. So I'm going to paste it into the Wayback Machine, which is the Internet Archive. And it says it has not archived that. Okay, so let's just take it to the root. And okay, so this says it's been saved 27 times. Started in 2013. The last time it archived it was in 2022. So let's go back to the very first time that the Wayback Machine saved it. And so July 13th, 2013, this is what the website looked like. This would have been the first time they published it. I don't see anything here about a school. So let's scroll on down. The flashes are going to be old, not working. Maybe click the About. Let's see what he says about himself. Ah, there we go. I see the word college. Degree from... Okay, let's click one of these links and see what we get. Okay, so this is pulling up the eChip ministry. I have no idea where the CHIP is coming in, or chip, everlasting chip. Am I missing something? I have no idea. All right, so here it looks like we have more information. That's a good, okay, this looks promising. Let's see if we can get some information. So on ECMUI, I'm going to go ahead and click that. And we get a letter from him. Dear brother, sister. Okay, here we go. So, a lot more information than the current page. We have a 3-month ordination license program, and we've been training men and women for full-time ministry in a formal classroom experience since 1991, as well as, okay, blah, 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 blah. Desire 20 student, oh, so they also have other nations, global student network. Okay, so in this last thing, offer bachelor, master, and doctorate degrees in many different programs of theology, as well as practical and ministerial training, leading to a certificate of ordination. Okay, distance learning program. So let's take a look at admissions. What does it take to be admitted? let's see. And I don't see anything here about previous schooling, so it looks like it's pretty much open to anyone. You can pause and read if you'd like. I'm scanning it. I don't really see anything specific, so we won't click apply online. Curriculum. Let's see what is going on with the curriculum. So Manuel Johnson received his doctorate degree from this program. Let's see what the curriculum page we actually have something. All right. I think we're getting somewhere. These are some of the instructions for the curriculum for the 2-year program that would help the student to better understand the program and course of study. 5 books to complete a 2-year program. All right, so let's see what the curriculum is. God's Plan for Man, which is 52 lessons to be fully completed. The Invisible War. Okay, so these are 5 books, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that looks like you have to do a report on them. An essay, an essay, an essay. Okay, so so that's your curriculum. Those books, that's it. Number 6 says once a month, 3 hours of evangelizing the local area designated by the leaders. Okay, on-the-job training. The student once a month will be elected to give a 15-minute sermon in our sanctuary to build up his esteem and confidence, to stand publicly and proclaim the gospel, and to show his ability and skill and his learning to glorify. Okay, good. All right, so number 8, he or she must write a 30-page booklet. Booklet? Inspired in order to receive a master's degree, as well as fulfilling the requirements above to graduate to a master's level. The requirements for a certificate from the School of Ministry as a minister are so this is more than just the information about a doctorate degree. This is for everything. Let's keep reading. Our completion of 25% of God's plan for man. There are no other requirements for the certificate. What? Okay, wait. Let's go back. Let's go back over here. Okay. So here. The ministry license, the cheapest thing you can get, the $4,800, it looks like from this Wayback Machine curriculum that's been archived that you could earn from this, quote, school a certificate from the School of Ministry for completing a quarter of the God's Plan for Man. There are no other requirements for the certificate. So basically, of these 52 lessons, probably 1 a week, after a quarter, just 3 months, you're able to get a ministerial certificate? That's weird. And I don't know what these lessons are. Let's see what is God's Plan for Man. Let's go over and see what that is. Since it's a book, let's go to Amazon. All right, let's check out that book. Yeah, containing 52 lessons. Okay. Oh, so this is by Dake, the famous Dake of Dake's Bible. He was a scholar. Wow. Okay. So this looks like a good book. And that would be a year of it if you're doing 1 a week. Let's see what, published in 90,000 pages. So that's pretty comprehensive. I like that. I don't know that if you just finish 12 weeks of it that you should be awarded a certificate of ministerial license, but let's keep going. So the requirements for a bachelor's degree. So 1 step up are completion of 50% of it. Okay, so finish 6 months of it, you can earn a bachelor's degree, as well as completion of The Invisible War, The Snake in the Glass, Understanding Your Spiritual Gifts, and Honeymoon with the Holy Spirit, which includes homework. Okay, so it looks like you must do half of this first very comprehensive book and then do all of the other books, which means read them and write 2 pages. The last one you're going to write 4 pages. So let's take a look at these books and just see what is involved, because This is what they are saying your curriculum will be. The Invisible War, what every believer needs to know about Satan, demons, and spiritual warfare. Okay, by Chip Ingram. I know nothing about Chip Ingram. So a spiritual warfare book. Let's see how many pages. 224 pages. Not bad. Okay. All right, let's take a look at the next book, The Snake in the Glass. It's not grass. That's weird. Glass blowing mystery. I don't think that's it. Autumn. Let's see. Snake in the glass. Let's pick it up. Grass. Okay. Let's do quotes and see if it picks it up. Snake in the glass. Oh. It's his own book. It's his own book. Isn't that interesting? Deceptions of alcohol exposed. So, in order to get your degrees, you need to read one of his books. Well, that's kind of self-fulfilling, isn't it?
So, I'm going to add in a little something here. Did you see the reviews of that book? Yeah, here it is. It got 4 stars by one person without a verbal review or text review. They just rated it 4. Here's a book that's in his college, and it got 1 rating, and it was a 4.
You're able to study exactly what this man thinks. 176 pages. Wow. 6 million rank is terrible. All right, let's take a look at the next one, Understanding Your Spiritual Gifts. All right. Back over here. Understanding Spiritual Gifts. Is it understanding your spiritual gifts? Understanding your spiritual gifts. Oh no. So, 2 books so far are by the actual founder of the, quote, school.
From the back of that book, Dr. Bruno has traveled throughout more than 40 nations as a missionary evangelist. He has written more than 12 inspirational books, developed a theological curriculum, and has held numerous workshops, seminars, and healing conferences. He has conducted over 100 mission trips to China and Asia. Yeah, God has blessed Dr. Bruno, sorry, I can't say your name, with a prophetic ministry to deliver God's word and the saving knowledge of Jesus Christ to the sick, hurting, and afflicted. His own unique spiritual journey has touched the lives of millions through supernatural healing and life-changing prophecies. Ladies and gentlemen, we now can figure out why Manuel Johnson is, let's just say, the way he is.
Pretty interesting way to, generate some revenue, requiring that the people in your, quote, university buy your book. What are the chances that he also wrote Honeymoon with the Holy Spirit? What are the chances? Let's just take a look and not even search it. Let's see if it's going to be in the list. Birthing the Prophet, Mafia to the... Yep. There you go. Honeymoon with the Holy Spirit. Doesn't make sense.
Now, folks, if you do what she did, you go to Amazon, you find his name, you click on it, you see all the books he's written. Not all the books have reviews, but the ones that I saw each had one review. I wonder if he bought his whole book and reviewed it.
So, of these 5 books, he wrote 3 of them. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Finally, the requirements for the doctorate degree are completion of the text, God's plan for man in its entirety, and the above mentioned curriculum, as well as a dissertation of 160 pages minimum. It must be inspired by the student and done in a professional presentation. Upon completion, a doctorate or Ph.D. It doesn't even make sense. Will be given to the student. So, you do have to write a 160-page dissertation. Oh, wow. So, that is it. That is all you have to do. So, is it a diploma mill where you actually just pay the money and get the degree? Doesn't look like it. However, does this look like something that you would, first of all, pay $20,000 for? I'm going to pay you $20,000 after I have bought 3 of your books and completed all of this work, and you get your doctorate degree. I don't know. I guess there's a lot of people doing it. However, this has nothing to do with an actual divinity degree. This is just a Bible study, a book about spiritual warfare, and then 3 of his books, which who knows what's going on with that. So, in my estimation, doesn't look like we have anything here that's a credible Ph.D. Just a lot of homework. All right, let's see what's under ordination license. Certificate just basically says that you would get an ordination certificate and what you can do with it. Tuition and fees. Tuition fees captured in 2013. All right, so here we go. $6,000, 10, 16, and 2,400. So he has definitely gone up on the prices. So considering everything that we have found, I'm going to say this is not a credible program. Last thing, though, that I'd like to do is see what is going on with this website now, egyptministry.org. So let us see. Invitation for all every Sunday night, 6 to 10 p.m. Bring your favorite food. Did he misspell feast? He misspelled feast. Joseph Global University campus. Here's this address. Lawrenceville Plank Road. Have we looked that up? Lawrenceville Plank Road. 1386 Lawrenceville Plank Road. 1386. Let's see if we can find that. Yes, Virginia. Okay, it's all saying it's a house. So it's a house church? Is he having a house church? Let's take a look. There's your street view. Wonder if that sign says something about their ministry. Take a look at realtor.com. Yeah, here it is. So, wow. Interesting colors. Joseph Global University, Campus of Everlasting Chip Ministry for Biblical Education. Dr. Bruno and Lydia Caparimo, founder and something. Dr. Henry Ye, president. There's the president. There's Henry Ye again. We saw him. We saw him on... It was on SWIU. So I guess I'll sum it up to say this. Being someone who has been in education for 25 years, what I am very offended about is the shortcuts. The stupid, irrelevant shortcuts. I used to have a poster in my classroom that was Colossians 3:23. Paraphrasing, whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all your might, as unto the Lord, not to men. So I would explain to my students, that means that don't do it for the grade, don't do it for even yourself, do it to show your God that you are worthy of the task at hand. Pretend like no one's around except Jesus, and do it so that he would look at you and say, well done, my good and faithful servant. Whatever the task is, because that's what the verse says. Whatever your hand finds to do. So maybe it is, doing these chemistry problems right now, or perhaps it's on the basketball court. Whatever it is, just always try to encourage my students to do their very best, regardless of what is going on around them, but do it for the glory of God. And I don't think that the way that Manuel Johnson and others have gone about adding Ph.D. or doctor to their name lines up with Colossians 3:23. It also reminds me of the verse that you have a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. It's like they have a form of education, but there's no substance behind it. There simply seems to be no credible substance behind it. The typical PhD, after you've earned a master's, because most PhD programs require that you have a bachelor's and a master's before you go into that. There are some exceptions. The typical PhD is going to be 3 to 4 years full-time, 7 to 10 going part-time. So the fact that they're even claiming that you can do this work in 2 years just is another hallmark of why I think that this is not a credible title, and I'm offended that he has that title, that he is taking that title, because it puts him on par with others who have done the work. So, Johnson, you get an F in my book.
Alabama Woodsman, you dumb redneck. You don't deserve that woman right there. I'm gonna tell you what. When you say you married up twice, keep going. Now, I didn't know it, but that lady right there, she taught one of my cheerings at the school. And let me tell you something, Manuel Johnson, you don't want an F from that lady right there. Cause when she gives you an F, son, it's a fat one. It's a fat one. You don't want that lady messing with you. But Alabama Woodsman, I'm gonna tell you something. You must be the luckiest rascal I ever seen in my life, cause you just don't. Dumb rednecks like you don't deserve women like that right there. No, son. Did you make a deal with the devil? All right, folks, I did the math, and I hope I'm right. For $833 a month, and reading 5 books and doing a paper, you too can get a Ph.D. from this college. Now, I had never, and she mentioned it, I had never heard of anyone who didn't get like a bachelor's, a master's, a Ph.D. I didn't know you could just jump to Ph.D. But I guess if you write a check with church funds, I'm sure, you can get a Ph.D. from this college. So when I was a detective, the one thing that and I wasn't a detective very long. I got promoted really quick. Once I made detective, I made sergeant, and they moved me out of the detective bureau. I always kept to the issue, the ethics of go where the facts lead you. Don't discard facts and don't make them up. Go where it leads you. So before making this video, because I watched it during editing, I really thought this was basically just a, hey, here's 20K, give me a piece of paper. That doesn't mean that this isn't a joke, a sick joke. Like she said, the shortcutting, the people who work for years to put doctor in front of their name, and this kind of rinky-dink Mickey Mouse degree system right here, that is a travesty. That is a disgrace. And I don't know what the China connection is, but there is one. Now, I thought it was just going to be, here's a check, give me my paper. It doesn't appear that that is totally true. It is still a joke. It is still false advertising. And here's, she said she was mostly upset at the shortcuts. Let me tell you what I am mostly upset about. Yes, the shortcuts. Everywhere you see doctor in front of his name, it's a lie. It's a lie. So that means his very name is deception. The very name Dr. Whoever, if you have not earned that, folks, your very name is a deception. I knew something was up, and there's a lady also, it slips me. She's a blonde lady, California. Her and Donna Rigney and Manuel Johnson just released a video about how they were going to South Dakota to Mount Rushmore and open a portal so angels could come down, as if they need a portal. She puts doctor in front of her name too, but I can't find any information, and neither can the Flower Girl, on where she got her doctorate. All I can find is she has an associate's in art, but I can't find, and so she puts doctor in front of her name too. She wouldn't call Manuel Johnson doctor in her latest video. She called him pastor. Folks, people that put doctor in front of their name without really earning a true doctorate are posers. I don't like posers. How much more will somebody shortcut and lie if they will lie to put doctor in front of their name for the appearance of grandeur? Folks, there's a problem here. That's the video. Thank you for stopping by the Alabama Woodsman. I hope to see you again soon.